So everyone, after 2 years, we've finally gotten a new Marvel film, Black Widow. And this is one I was really excited about because I've loved seeing Natasha in the MCU movies, and Scarlett Johansson has always done a fantastic job as the character. Not to mention the fact that a lot of people have wanted to see a solo Black Widow movie for a while, and now we've finally gotten one. It was also nice for me to be able to go back to the cinema to see a movie again in the cinema after over a year. So all this was making me so excited to see the film, and in the end, I ended up feeling somewhat slightly middle of the road with this movie, but I think I did like it a bit more than maybe I just might have thought I would have. Also, like always, I'm gonna do no spoilers for the first part, and then I'll do all the spoilers afterwards. So, what's the story? It's set after Civil War with Natasha still on the run after helping Cap get away, and while in hiding, she's confronted by someone named Taskmaster who seems to be after her for some reason. So after this, she tries to find her sister and some others to get some answers and to stop something called the Red Room, which is where she was trained to be an assassin. And I'll stop there. So what I liked the most about this was the fact that it did have a lot of interesting ideas. There's a lot of details in the plot that intrigued me, especially in regard to seeing Natasha's past, which is the first time we're actually seeing this. So it was interesting. So yeah, that was interesting. Not to mention the fact that the cast is of course phenomenal, with Scarlett Johansson once again doing a fantastic job as Natasha. But the rest are great too, especially Florence Pugh as Natasha's sister. I also like the adventure side of this. We see Natasha going through different things like dealing with her past and dealing with current problems, and I did like that. It was also nice when we see a lot of these characters just being people, in my opinion. Like there's a scene where Natasha is with her sister and some other people in a house, and it was interesting seeing these characters work off each other like that. Not to mention, and yeah, there's just a lot of moments like that are really interesting, and yeah, just nice to see. It was also, and yeah, and it was just seeing a lot of these characters get different contrasts with each other like that. And that whole house scene did have some pretty emotional moments as well, just showing, like in regard to showing more of their past together, and I thought it was pretty powerful. The film's also really funny. There's a lot of really hilarious moments in this that made me laugh, especially one scene inside a helicopter, and the action scenes are mostly pretty cool as well. I say mostly, so keep that in mind, but there are some really awesome action scenes in this, especially towards the end, and the film does have some really cool shots in it that I noticed. There are also some twists in this that I didn't see coming, and while I didn't think all of them were good, some actually are pretty cool, and I will say the ending did make me really excited for the future MCU project. Overall, I did have a good time with this film, but there are still some problems that I had that I'm going to talk about now. For starters, some of the scenes in the film did kind of feel a bit pointless, and due to those scenes, it did kind of make the film feel pointless as a whole because there's not much in this that makes it feel like it's super important to the MCU. It's a fun film, but nothing in it really felt like it was necessary for the other films in the MCU. I will say it is nice when we see see Natasha after Civil War, and it's cool when we see the part of her backstory, but the story for this did kind of feel somewhat pointless in that regard because it doesn't have much of an impact to the other films. Some of the editing was also kind of weirdly noticeable sometimes. There were some scenes where the editing made it feel a bit choppy, and the editing also made some of the action scenes feel a bit off as well. Like I said, some of the action scenes were kind of underwhelming, and a lot of that had to do with the editing in those scenes. So it was very noticeable when we spent a lot of time on those action scenes. And especially with just those scenes not being the best as they could, and just having a bit of an empty feeling with the action scenes, because Natasha is one of the best martial artists in the Marvel Universe, so it just felt like they didn't use the opportunity they had to do with her in those action scenes. And like I said, there are some twists in this, and some of them aren't very good in my opinion. The biggest one I can think of, without spoiling anything, involves the villain. I won't say anything else, but I did find it annoying when we're revealed something towards the end of the film. Actually, two things. There's another twist in this that's really bizarre in my opinion. I also wasn't just a fan of just the villains themselves. They felt very generic and kind of boring sometimes. So overall, I did have a really good time with this film. It's another really good Marvel film, but it's not one of the better ones in my opinion. I am really glad we finally got a Black Widow movie, and I was mostly really entertained with it, and it's sad that this will be the last time we'll ever see Scarlett Johansson in the MCU. As far as where I'd rank it with the other MCU movies, I'd probably put it just above Captain America: The First Avenger, but just slightly below or just on the same level as Doctor Strange. And so, yeah, everyone, so those are my thoughts on Black Widow. Thank you all so much for watching. We're going to go into the spoilers next, so if you don't want anything spoiled, just put it away from this video now. Overall, those are my honest thoughts without spoiling anything. So yeah, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you will like this, and please like this video, and please comment down below to tell me what you think, and I'll see you in the spoiler section. Okay, so the first big spoiler I can think of is when it revealed that Taskmaster is actually the daughter of Vic Raycroft guy, who's the real villain of the movie that Natasha thought she killed a long time ago. I guess it was nice to see Natasha have sympathy for her, and by the end it was nice when she was able to save her, and yeah, that was nice, but I personally really didn't like how they made Taskmaster into some puppet character for someone else. It also kind of reminded me of what they did with Loki in Ant-Man and the Wasp, where it's some male character from the comics made into some female character for the movie, and I really didn't like what they did with that character here. I will say her action scenes were cool, and it was nice when Natasha did save her at the end, like I said, as well as all the widows, but I personally just didn't like how they made Taskmaster's character, like it's something else entirely for this movie. And another thing that I thought was pretty bad was the clip that Natasha couldn't hurt Rachel because of some particles in her head. It was so weird and kind of nonsensical that it just came across as kind of silly to me, and then she just stopped it by slamming her head into the jet to just sever the nerve where the particles are. That was just a really weird moment in my opinion. Another kind of big spoiler is that I didn't expect to see Ross in this, but I guess it does make sense considering he would be there at the beginning of the movie looking for Natasha after Civil War, and yeah, it was cool to see him. also probably my favorite action scene in the movie was during the middle part with the car chase with Natasha and her sister on the run from Taskmaster and some of the other widows. And we can also talk about that as well. I thought the whole concept of the widows was interesting as well with them as well when Natasha had to fight a whole bunch of them all together. And yeah, just the whole idea of them was just really interesting with being the women that raped up just kind of hooked up from off the street and just kind of trained them in the red room to be deadly assassins who she also just kind of brainwashed. But it was cool when Natasha's sister was able to help all the widows at the end, and it was pretty satisfying when Drake died after what he said about Natasha's mom and all that. Plus, again, that scene in the house was nice with Natasha, her sister, Alexi, and that other woman talking. It was also cool when we see Natasha and that woman talking in places like what happened in Civil War, in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, with that councilwoman that Natasha had to switch places with. And then the ending of the film when we see Nat with that look that she had in Infinity War with a little tie into that film. And yeah, the same goes for when she goes to break some of the other Avengers out of the raft. And then the end credit scene. I like how it played after Endgame with Natasha's sister visiting her grave, and then we see Madam Hydra. She was actually in The Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I was told it was supposed to be a surprise when she showed up there because that was supposed to because this was supposed to come out first, but then the pandemic happened, so then it would have been a surprise to see her there, and then she helped, and so yeah, it was more of a surprise to see her here because as soon as she showed up, I just knew who she was after seeing her in The Falcon and Winter Soldier. So yeah, I did expect her to appear because I was told that she was going to be in this, so that was a big, so yeah, it was really surprising when she showed up here, and then she held her sister that Clint was responsible for Natasha's death, and then she's gonna be after him now. So I guess that means we'll be seeing her in the Hawkeye show coming up. So, and yeah, that seems cool. I mean, I thought she was really good in the movie, so it would be really cool to see her sister again. And so yeah, I think that covers about everything. So yeah, overall those were just all my thoughts on Black Widow. And so yeah, like I said, those are all my thoughts on Black Widow. So yeah, everyone, so that was that. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all liked this video. If you did, then please like this video. Please comment down below to tell me what you think. Please follow me on Twitter at Daniel Maloney, Haitian Disney fan, writer, Kingdom Hearts and Disney Please every day. And please subscribe for more content like this coming soon. And I'll see you on next time. Take care.